Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Yasmin. I am an 18, almost 19-year-old mom to my 20-month-old daughter Layla and my almost 2-month-old baby Laela. I have had quite a few experiences with birth control, and that's why I want to make this video today to talk about my experiences with birth control and just kind of like have a little sit down about birth control. So I'm from Delaware, as most of you guys probably know, and we decided to go on a little vacation down to Florida. So we are in Florida right now, so that's why I'm in an Airbnb right now. This is not our house, we're just like in a random Airbnb. It's pretty cute. But I've been thinking about filming this video for a while. I didn't want to wait until we were home to make it, so I just decided to make it now because we actually don't even really know when we're going home. Anyways, so the babies are napping. Well, Laela is napping and Layla is in the other room with Logan right now. You might be able to hear them in the background a little. My channel obviously is like surrounded around the fact that I had a baby when I was 17. I got pregnant when I was 16, so I had a baby when I was really young to be having a baby. So obviously I feel like this is something important to talk about and discuss on my channel is birth control. Most people get the idea that my channel is to show that you can make something good out of something that starts out bad or scary. It's not to encourage people to become teen moms, but it's to encourage people who are put in this situation that, you know, like they'll be okay and their lives are not over. But I do want to talk about birth control because I feel like it is important to put it out there that birth control is important, and it's important to talk to your kids about, it's important to talk to your parents about, it's important to talk to your boyfriends and your girlfriends about, and yeah, so anyways, I'm just gonna tell you guys about my experience with it and we'll go from there. I am 18, almost 19 now, so I graduated high school like almost a year ago. Well, it was like last spring. It's currently February. I got on birth control for the first time when I got in my first serious relationship, which was my freshman year of high school. And again, I feel like that is sort of early for some people. Like, some people don't become sexually active until later. So I got a boyfriend when I first started my freshman year of high school. He was a nice boy. If he's watching this, that's awkward. Anyways, it didn't work out. We were really young. Like, it wasn't like it was anything like that serious, but we did date for like 9 months. At some point during our relationship, I needed to be put on birth control. So I went and I talked to my mom about it, and it took me an entire like couple-hour conversation for me to actually get out what I was trying to get at. I was very nervous. As like a 14-year-old girl coming and telling my mom that I wanted to be on birth control. It was very nerve-wracking and awkward. So pretty much I just kind of asked her like, so like when did you have your first serious boyfriend, and like started trying to like get at it. But eventually I got at what I was trying to say, and I was like, I want to make an appointment to get on birth control. And immediately she was like, yes, like thank you for telling me, and like she was supportive and like talked to me about it and completely understood. But not everyone's parents are like that. I know it would probably be a lot harder for some of you guys. I think a lot of parents kind of try to just be like, no, like just don't do it at all. Premarital sex is a sin, just don't do it at all. And then a lot of the times kids will just sneak behind their parents' back and do it anyways. Obviously that's not what happened with me. My family was very like understanding, but we'll get there. Immediately we went like probably the next week or something, and I got an appointment and I got on the pill. I didn't really have any kind of like knowledge about any of the other options for birth control at the time. I really just thought like the pill was the only option. So I got on the pill, and it was basically like you take, some people do it different ways, but the one that I did was, I'm pretty sure it was called like Sprintec or something. And pretty much you take the hormone pill for 3 weeks, and then for 1 week you take like a sugar pill. So you like for 1 week you're off of the hormones, so that's like when you get your period. So yeah, so I was on this pill, and as far as symptoms, I feel like it made me break out a little bit, but then again I was also just like a teenager with a lot of early teenager hormones anyways. I felt like it did make me gain weight a little, but again also I was ending my like soccer season, so I was like super active, and then I kind of like wasn't as active anymore, but I always blamed that on like being on the pill. And I did feel like it made me a little bit more like moody, and it also, my periods were a little bit heavier. For some people the symptoms are like totally different. Sometimes it's like the opposite. I was on the pill for I think a little over a year, even after like me and my boyfriend from then weren't together anymore. I continued just taking it because I was already on it, and I didn't want to like mess up my hormones by like stopping. and I just like didn't know when. I don't know, I needed to be on it still, I guess. But eventually I decided, I was like, okay, I think these hormones are what is causing me to be like, I don't know, depressed and like moody, and I don't know. So I blamed it on the hormones, whereas there was probably other things factoring into that. I decided to stop taking it around like January, I think, of my sophomore year, so the next year. So I took it for about a year, and then I didn't get back on birth control again, which is why Layla is here. June of that year, I met Layla's dad, and that's when we started dating, and that's when I should have got back on birth control, but sorry, that's Layla knocking on the door. I didn't end up getting on birth control because I was afraid of all of the possible symptoms that I would have, and at that time I had moved in with my aunt, and I was like uncomfortable talking about it, and I didn't end up ever getting back on birth control, which was obviously, I don't want to say a mistake because I'm so happy that I have Layla, but obviously it wasn't ideal for me to have a kid get pregnant at 16. I should have been on birth control, but obviously I love Layla more than anything, and I'm so happy that everything turned out as it did. But so then I'm pregnant, there's no need for birth control anymore, it's too late. I have Layla, and after she's born, again, there was not really any need for me to be on birth control. I wasn't like dating anybody, I was like just literally home with Layla. I wasn't with Layla's dad after I got pregnant, so that's why I wasn't dating anyone after Layla was born. I wasn't with anyone. I was single momming it with Layla and my aunt and my cousin Sophie. The school year comes around, it's my senior year, and eventually I meet Logan that fall, and we started dating, and we didn't get serious like right away, but a little bit after we started dating, we decided, okay, we're not gonna do this again. I need to get on birth control. So I went and I got an IUD. I got the Mirena IUD. An IUD is a little device that looks like this, and it pretty much goes, they stick it into your uterus, and there's like a little string that hangs down like out of your cervix into your vagina canal. Not like, sorry, Layla keeps knocking on the door. Not like out of your body. It's like still inside of you, but it is up there. I had that in for about 2 months, maybe about 2 months, and the whole time, first of all, getting it in is pretty painful. It's kind of uncomfortable, and pretty much immediately I started like bleeding, like having a period, kind of like spotting. So this is what happens when you don't use birth control. I'm just kidding, I love you. What, you want to say hello? Can you say hello? Can you say I'm Layla? Can you say subscribe? Sorry for that interruption. Anyways, the process of getting it in is kind of painful, and then I started bleeding afterwards, and I pretty much bled every day for the like month or maybe even 2 months that I had it. It wasn't always like super heavy, but it was bleeding. Like I had to wear like a pad or a tampon every single day, and it kind of sucked. It was like having a 2-month-long period. It wasn't fun. And also I felt like it was making me more like moody. I hate the idea of unnatural hormones in me. Girls are moody and emotional enough because of hormones, and the idea of putting like an unnatural amount or like just an unnatural source of them is weird to me, and I don't like it. I don't want to say I'm against birth control because obviously it's important, or else everyone would be out here like having babies and then we would be overpopulated. Anyway, so when I talked to my doctor about getting this IUD, I was like, I don't like hormones. I don't want to like, you know, not know what the side effects are going to be, and then like, you know, what if I end up having bad side effects and having to switch, and then it takes months for like my body to like figure it out, and I'm just like going crazy the whole time. I don't want that. She told me that the Mirena only releases the hormones into your uterus or something, so like it doesn't go into your bloodstream. I don't know, that's just what I was told. But I would definitely say do your research, like do your own research before you just go in. But there is also this thing called a Paragard, which is a copper IUD, and pretty much copper, like sperm, is basically allergic to copper. It makes like a bad environment for sperm to live in, so the copper like kind of kills sperm, so it's a pretty effective method of birth control as well. That is obviously non-hormonal, but again, that also kind of freaks me out, like putting a little piece of metal into your uterus is probably not great for your body. But Who knows? I'm not a doctor. And 2 months later, I've been bleeding for literally 2 straight months. Here comes the interesting part of the story. So, Logan and I, we were on a ski trip together. If you guys are family, please stop watching. We were getting a place together. We were pretty serious, and Logan was pretty much like a dad to Layla. Again, we hadn't been together for very long to be deciding this. Just like, I've learned more from building a relationship with Logan than I have from anything. Other than like becoming a mom. It ended up working out really well for us. I wouldn't say that, you know, you should go, and it was hard, it wasn't easy, it was hard becoming parents together at a really young age, and like working out a relationship is hard. So I wouldn't say that like anyone else should go and do this or try this themselves. I wouldn't recommend it, but we made it work. I love Logan, and he loves our babies, and I love our babies, and we're a really happy family now, but it took a lot to get here. Here we are, on the ski trip, and we were planning on moving in together. He had been taking care of Layla with me for like months now. He was pretty much like, he was a dad to her, and we decided, we were like, okay, forget about this birth control. This is obviously, it wasn't good for me, it wasn't working, I didn't like it, and I was gonna like just not be on birth control anymore, and it was kind of just like whatever happens happens. But I was planning on like maybe trying to get on some other kind of birth control later on, but at the time we were like, okay, whatever happens happens. It's not worth what the birth control was doing to me and my emotions and my body. So I hope Logan doesn't hear me telling this story. Logan locates the device. Remember, I told you about how the little string hangs down? He locates the string and he takes it out. So literally takes out my IUD. Obviously, like, I told him to. I was like, yeah, take it out. I couldn't have done it myself. I've heard of people doing it themselves, and also I hope my doctors aren't like watching this either. That would be weird. But yeah, I wouldn't recommend doing that. You're not supposed to like do something like that yourself, because you can definitely risk, like, I don't know, like if you like scratch yourself when you're taking it out, like getting an infection and like stuff like that. That's not good. You definitely shouldn't take it out yourself. Go get it done at a doctor's office. A few months later, I get pregnant with Laela. That's another thing, is when you get off of birth control, you can get pregnant a lot faster. So then I'm pregnant with Laela. So again, no more point in using birth control because I'm pregnant. Laela is now 2 months old. 4 to 6 weeks after you have a baby, you're not supposed to put anything into your vagina. No tampons, no nothings. No nothings. There was no need for me to be on birth control yet, so I went to my 6-week appointment, and then pretty much all they did, it wasn't even like any type of checkup, pretty much all it was getting on birth control. So they were like, okay, you're doing good, great, here's some birth control. Pretty much they just went ahead and gave me the same IUD. I told them that I just wanted to try the same one again, even though I hated it the first time. So we'll see how I do with this one. We're waiting definitely a couple years to have another one, if at all. Not to say that like we're completely done having kids, because we're only like almost 19 and 18, so we definitely do want more kids in the future. But for now, birth control is the way to go. So I have the same Mirena. I've had it for, shoot, I got it about 2 weeks ago. I got it right before I left for LA, and yes, I have been bleeding since I got it, which kind of sucks. It's like kind of a heavy period, or like moderate period. And the first couple days I had really bad cramping. I've had some headaches. It hasn't been the most pleasant, but it's more pleasant than being pregnant. In conclusion, make sure you guys talk to the people that need to hear it about birth control, which would be your parents, if you're teenagers, your parents, your significant other, your boyfriend or your girlfriend, and talk to your doctor about all the options. Do your research on all of the options, because there's also an arm implant, there's I've heard of like a patch, like shots. I guess that's all for this video. If you guys have any questions, check out my Instagram. It is linked in the description below. I usually put a section for comments on my Instagram story. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. Bye.